Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. There we go. There we go. Welcome in, Glamified. Hope you're all doing all right. Celestial Guardian. Right? It's what I usually use for my Hipsy event. And then I'll zoom in to the butterflies. But there's a caterpillar out behind me. I don't know. It's not going to allow me. There it is. The background of transformation and divine timing. All right. Let's see what we got going on. I don't know what kind of message we're going to get tonight. I don't know what the deal is, but we're going to figure it out. Hopefully it's a good one. Again, I'm not going to be on here for long. I was out in the garden today doing the trimming and the weeding and taking care of the bushes. Hey there, John. Right back at you. I don't know why, but I'm being called to bring out my other one. There's a couple cards missing, and I don't usually like using my deck when there's a couple cards missing. But whatever. 'Tis what it is. Little princess isn't feeling well today. So if you hear something in the background, that is her. Mama's taking care of her. Okay, the wise one and the warrior come out. Tradition, order, perfectionism, and burnout. Okay. Somebody has lack of empathy. Apparently there's some sort of confrontation somebody wants to have, whatever that means. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I was debating on doing a live open table tonight. But if there's enough people that want to get a message, I very well can open up a live open table after this. Only if you're going to show up. I hope she feels better too. She had a raging fever there the other day. It was rough. But it finally broke. She was feeling a little better. Running around the house. Anyway. Alright, spirit, guides, guards, protectors, angels, ancestors, divine light, please be here to provide a message for the collective. Hopefully it's something that's going to be positive and not negative. I'm tired of the same old message, so if we can get a different message, would be great. Would be awesome. Please, don't make me beg. Thank you, Zach. Alright, what do we got? Chiromancer. Delivering news, collaboration. So somebody needs to deliver you news, but they don't want to. They're stalling. And then we have the puppeteer. Explanations and apologies in reverse. Somebody doesn't want to apologize. They don't want to be held accountable. And they don't want to have to explain themselves. Interesting. Well, yeah, it's the same repeating message, though, John. Like over and over and over and over again. But then again, it is confirmation, so this is a confirmation station. And being that this is a collective message, the collective should probably pay attention. But anyway, here we are. The sailor is no longer a sailor. Somebody that thought that they could sail away on to calmer waters can no longer sail. The captain has been demoted, is what I'm picking up from here. With the captain and the sailor in the reverse. The adventurer, responsibility and expectations. Alright, what's going on, Spirit? The queen, determination and sacrifice. Okay, so there very well could be somebody that's not wanting to, they're not determined. They don't want to sacrifice their status quo, I guess. What's going on? The champion, achievement, and downfall. It's like you won some sort of battle, collective. And somebody's sitting there, that the fact that they can't control you. And you're delivering news, maybe? You're the one delivering news? Maybe you're collaborating? I'm really kind of getting there's lies and deception happening here somewhere along the line. Small regrets and longing. The Herald. The storyteller. Viewpoints. Control. Somebody wanted to control the narrative by telling stories. There's the lies. The heir. Unseen potential. Hesitation. Somebody didn't want to see your potential. Somebody didn't want to see. They were very hesitant at seeing your potential. And Spirit's saying something about they have no choice but to see your potential now. I'm hearing it's there in black and white. Botanist, parenthood, and legacy. Yeah, somebody was not sure of themselves. Somebody's retracting. Somebody was hunting you. And now they're retracting this. Now they can't continue to hunt. The king is put at rest, control, reversal of fortune. Okay. The merchant, self-worth and trade. I'm really picking up that somebody did not want to see your fullest potential. And the thing is, they were trying to find, um, somebody was trying to find a way to diminish your self-worth. Okay? I'm hearing put you in your place. Take you off your high horse. But you weren't even standing on a high horse. You weren't even in that dynamic. There's some sort of communication coming in. But I don't see this being clarity. There's no clarity to this communication. It's kind of given word salad. Somebody was overthinking before they took action. Yeah, you alchemized all of this and you destroyed your plan. They tried to destroy your plan, but it backfired. They're learning a very big lesson. There's some sort of closed case. The scholar, investigation, research is in the reverse. Productivity and creation. I feel that you're able to produce now, for you to be able to create again. At least if that's not happening yet, it will be. I really feel that somebody that wanted to put you in your place is being put in their place. Somebody that was acting out here as like an assassin, they can't be an assassin anymore. Somebody stands corrected. I'm also picking up there's nothing that you really can't do, collective. You're very experienced in a lot of different avenues. They didn't take that into consideration. Somebody wants to come in and collaborate with you. They're delivering some sort of news. But it's like they're only doing this to try to gain some sort of control of the situation. I don't see it working out very well for them, I must admit. Yada, yada, yada. Welcome in, Danielle, Renee, Roxanne. Ernie, welcome in. Somebody's losing their absolute freaking mind because they can't let you go. I'm hearing you're living rent-free in their head. Somebody, it's like, given the energy of like their spell backfired, they wanted you to come back in. They wanted you to be obsessed with them. They wanted you to reconcile with them. And now they're obsessed with you, and they know you don't want to. They know you don't want anything to do with them. I'm scared to look at the other card. No, I'm not. Yeah. They don't want to reflect at the fact that you're out here being a wild card. They cannot. You're unpredictable of how you're going to act or react to them coming in to conversate with you. They have not a clue as to how you're going to react. I'm hearing they need to say something to your face, but they can't. They don't think that you're going to adapt. But there's something here about good luck. Pardon me. Whatever that means. Hey, Sean. Ay, ay, ay. Spirit, what's going on? Yeah. There's no adventure. Trying to stunt your growth. That's for me. It's too fucking late. I'm only 5'2". Yeah. So there's definitely some sort of good luck coming in for you. You have opportunities. You're moving through a transformation. That wild card keeps coming out. Self-love. So you could just be out here focusing on yourself. It's no longer a mystery about this transition. You must pay attention to the signs around you. The transition may be frightening at first, but you must let go of old habits and patterns that no longer serve your highest calling. They would only hinder your growth. Somebody, I don't know, the forgiveness card was in the reverse. There very well could be some sort of communication coming in that it's quite possibly could be unforgivable. And maybe that's what they're thinking. What they've done is unforgivable. Once you find out the truth, it's going to embark you on a transition. The transition may be frightening at first, but you must let go of old habits and patterns that no longer serve your highest calling. What about this forgiveness? Yeah. Somebody was trying to take you out of your independence, take your independence away. Somebody was literally out here trying to ruin the whole idea for you to be independent. Like, I'm picking up they wanted you suffering. Yeah, they wanted to stall out your manifestation. You weave your web of life. What you see before you is the result of your thoughts. If your current reality does not suit you, then it is time to make changes. Through conscious manifestation, your energy can bring in all that you desire. Hmm. I'm really picking up that somebody was trying to put you in a frequency that you would not be able to manifest either. And the fact that you are going through this transition, the fact that it is no mystery, the fact that you love yourself, the fact that you're out here being a whole wild card, the fact that your manifestations are coming in, that you have luck on your side, you're going through this growth period, despite them trying to take you out of your independence and have you in nothing but chaos. That's bad news to them. That's bad news bears. You may receive an important but very unexpected gift. Accept this with deep respect. Someone has sacrificed a lot to help you open the doors to grow. And I feel that somebody was out here seeing you go through this experience. They see your developments, they see your growth, they see that you love yourself. And somebody did not want this news coming to you. Somebody did not want you getting some sort of gift. Somebody's been trying to stall this gift from coming in for you. Open-mindedness, it's on the bottom of the deck. Somebody was not open-minded to your forward movement. I'm picking up on the fact that they did not think that you were worthy of this. But it is plain to see, it is very clear to see how you've changed, how you've grown, how you've evolved into the person that you are, how you've empowered yourself, even through the trials and tribulations and the chaos. Change your passwords, Coco. Yeah, somebody wanted you to drop your boundaries. So I'm hearing somebody did not want you to have any. So that way they could take control of you. They wanted to take away your spirituality, or at least disconnect you from it. But I think you clocked this. They wanted to take away your opportunities too. But your intuition told you all about it. Read it, tell all about it. They did not want you going through this transition. They did not want you adapting to the chaos. They wanted the chaos to take over. And this is unforgivable. And this is why you haven't received any communication, because whoever this is, they don't want to come and have to tell you the truth of what they were doing to try to remove you out and keep you from being productive and take you out of this leadership position and take away your ability to be passionate. But you have the inner strength. Even so, they tried to disempower you. You continued having confidence despite the fact that you didn't trust anyone. The fact that you didn't necessarily want to let this person go, but you did anyway. They didn't think you would persevere, but you took decisive action despite despite the thwarting of your new beginnings. Again, they didn't think you would endure this. But you went through a metamorphosis. You transferred from you shed some skin, some of the old skin, and you went through a metamorphosis. I'm hearing you are now a butterfly, and you still have love to give. Despite it all, you are protected by the light. You need to be gentle with yourself. Maybe you were gentle with yourself in this repetitive cycle. Very much innocent, and whoever was behind this, they were misguided. Now they get to flip out at all the beautiful abundance going to come in for you, and they get to sit there and watch. They thought they were clever, testing your patience, but you're very clever, and you have all the patience to get through this collective. Transition, reflection, you're very loyal. You're bringing balance to the situation. They thought they were playing you. They didn't understand who they were trying to play. I'm going to tell you that right now. Whoever I'm speaking to, you're definitely an alchemist. You have an old soul. That's what I meant to say. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Yeah. I do feel that whoever you are, your story will be in the news some way, somehow. But I what I feel is that it's going to be a good story. It's not going to be a bad story. Let me slide over and grab my coffee. Or more or less scooch. Scooch on back. Well, we got 21 watching. Welcome in, everybody. All right. Yeah, somebody's revenge backfired. Somebody doesn't want to be looked at as forbidden anymore. Somebody wants you to change your perspective on them. They're hoping for some sort of forgiveness. Yeah, because they don't want to deal with the humiliation and shame of what they tried to cause you. They don't want to be accountable for their shit. And their immaturity. You know, collective, when you fuck up and you do something that you probably shouldn't have, that's the worst part. Sitting there looking in the mirror, sitting there with the shame of your fuck up. But I'll tell you right now, it is literally the best way to overcome that energy is to face it with yourself, with the divine. Okay, that's why we have that feeling of shame. That's why we have that feeling of guilt. So that way we can feel it within ourselves and we can recognize where we screw up. And that's why we have those feelings. That's one of the great things about Mother Earth and this plane of existence in the Matrix. We get to feel these different types of feelings, right? And just as we have shame and guilt and remorse and all this other stuff, we also have happiness, we also have compassion, we also have sadness, we have happiness, we have anger, we have all these different feelings, right? And when you do the chakra meditation in order to heal and to release those chakra blockages, you have to go through every feeling. You have to at least recognize what that feeling feels like, whether or not you've screwed up or not. And 9 times out of 10, if you've actually lived your life, you will have a chance to go through every feeling, right? And it brings awareness to not only your current environment, your current life, this life specifically, but it also brings awareness to your soul. Okay? I'd like to say thank you to Ashley as well. Thank you, Ashley. Welcome in, Alyssa. But yeah, somebody wants to avoid, they want to escape, they want to push away, they want to hide because they do not want to face the shame and humiliation of what they've done to you. And I feel a lot of this, the majority of this has been throwing rocks and hiding their hands. They've done a lot of this without you even actually recognizing. But when they come out and they, when they show themselves, when they reveal what they've done, which I know they don't want to, um, because I do feel just for some of you, you may hold this person in high regard. You may have held them in high regard at some point. But because their revenge and because of all this is backlashing, it's backfiring bad. And it's not necessarily hitting them, it's hitting the people around them. And it's very unfortunate because they're having no other choice but to face it. Like the divine works in very mysterious ways. But apparently there's no mystery. Yeah. This was third party influences. Others involved third parties, intervention, manipulation. So they got a whole group of people thinking that they were going to come at you and all at different angles, and they still couldn't bring you down. You still rose above it. You still escaped. Unbothered, might I add. They didn't want to listen to the signs. They didn't want to listen to the synchronicities. Yeah, they were searching for answers, blind to the truth, watching you online, wanting to know, and they were hiding that. They were wanting to know whether or not their magic worked, and it didn't. This person may have given you butterflies, but they were hiding behind your back, causing a conflict. Differences, incompatible, irreconcilable differences. There's history, happened in the past, repeated patterns in reverse. So I guess somebody's showing up, they're showing up single, or maybe you're showing up single. No, this was them. They were showing up single. They very well could be showing up in the next little while. Again. But I feel that as they've been conversing, there was third party influences causing conflict. And they were part of that conflict. This person had a very, very arrogant ego about them. Too much pride, being stubborn, holding back, wishy washy energy. You may have felt dismissed by this person, disregarded, ignored, looked the other way, leaving behind. They were trying to put you in some sort of a roller coaster, ups and downs, good and bad, rush of feelings. Yeah. And then they would run away. They feel empty inside, or they wanted you to feel empty inside, but it didn't work. I do feel at some point you may have cut them off, but somebody wants to come in and they want to show up right. But I do feel that there's some sort of risky business. They know that they're not going to ascend, they know that they're not going to be going into a new phase. And I feel that there's something here about their ascension being blocked because of what they did. Or maybe they were trying to block your ascension by causing you some sort of an adrenaline rush or have you riding this roller coaster. I'm really kind of picking up on the fact that they wanted you sitting on the edge of your seat, waiting, anticipating. This was part of the revenge. This was the plotting, the payback. This was the punishing. This was the getting even by playing with your heartstrings. And the whole thing is now is that they're going to be, or maybe they wanted you begging, negotiating, trying to work things out. But all they were thinking about is everyone else. You may be hearing from them at some point. They may want to have a conversation. I don't think they're ready yet. You'll get some sort of signs or synchronicities with your intuition, so pay attention. But ultimately, I'm going to let you know that the revenge isn't over. One last ditch effort is what I'm hearing, and all they want to do is create problems. They're thirsty for attention. They're not getting it from where they were. I think these third party influences have disbanded. They wanted you out here overreacting, feeling uninspired, thinking about the past, fuming with rage, overwhelmed, explosion of emotions. They wanted you out here being very angry. They wanted you bottling everything up, facing some sort of illusions, keeping things inside, not opening up about the deception. But I feel that at some point, I think you healed this. You knew they were masking. You knew that there was some sort of something related to a third party influence. Maybe it seemed as though they just want to party, want to have fun, go out in the club, go on vacation. Whoever comes in and says this and saying that they want to reconcile with you and they want to get away with you. They want to have their way with you. They're just pretending. They're masking. This could very well be a karmic soulmate playing with your heartstrings. This person has not went through their shadow work. They have not done any shadow work. They're still the same person. They're still obsessed. They're holding on. You're living literally rent free in their head. And they're having legal problems. You're getting justice for all of the shit that they did. And the whole purpose of them coming in to null and void the charges, because there's charges on them now. And they feel that if they'll come in and reconcile with you, that you'll drop the charges. But the charges aren't being put in by you. The charges are being put in by the enforcement. But they feel that if they come in and reconcile with you, then those charges will be dropped. They're going to come in and say that they've healed these triggers, but they're just trauma bonding. Their witchcraft backfired. Bad. Okay? And they were spreading rumors, petty conversations, smearing your image, and making you look like a fool. And I feel this is the non-negotiable. This is the unforgivable kind of energy. There's a finality about this. You're not looking back. You want nothing to do with this. You want nothing to do with the past. You're done holding it together. You're done getting a grip regarding it. You're done with the heaviness. You're done being chained up. You're not even reminiscing. You're not dwelling. There was no good times. If there was any good times, it was very slim to none. And you're not looking back because there's nothing really much to look back at. When they showed up, this could have been somebody that maybe you could have seen maybe making a family with. You could have maybe felt secure with this person at first, but it was only a front. You didn't want to move on. But these lessons that you learned and these cycles that are ending, this was probably the hardest thing that you had to deal with. So why would you go back to it? Why would you apologize? Why would you entertain that again? That's the big question. Why would you bother? Right? I think you've learned your lesson. Unfortunately, you had to learn it the hard way. It's definitely not something that you wanted to have to deal with, but I do feel after you've alchemized it, you actually recognized how courageous you are. And despite how devastating and detrimental this was to your psyche, your spirit, in hindsight, it really kind of got you to focus on you. It really got you to pour back into yourself for a change rather than pouring into everybody else. And I really feel this is why you're not the same person as you were before. Thank you, Ashley. Welcome in, Georgia. Julie. Heidi. Puck. Kitty. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, they can't escape their immaturity of what they did. I feel this person may be getting caught up. That could also be the reason why you haven't heard from them. They could be behind bars. They could have maybe called, but you didn't answer. You may have tried to call them back, and it was a disconnected number, like you can't call this number kind of a situation. Maybe they've been trying to get in touch with you and they can't. They're definitely not going to be able to move forward. King of Wands? What about this King of Wands? We got the Seven of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. What about this King of Wands? Okay. We got the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we got the Nine of Swords over here. But we have the Ace of Cups that clarified the King of Wands. So if you are a King of Wands, you very well could be getting a love offer. Or there could be a King of Wands coming in with a love offer. Somebody's being very strategic. They're all up in their head. What's going on with the Nine of Swords? The Four of Cups. Because you are sitting in this King of... Two different timelines. If you are the King of Wands, because you are sitting in this King of Wands energy, you could be sitting there and you could be receiving a cup of love. It could very well be somebody coming in that wants to give you that cup of love. But they're all up in their head thinking about everything that's been said, and they feel that you deserve better. With the King of Wands in the right side up energy, they are in good intention, but they very well could... Tell me more, Spirit. With the Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, I don't know. It talks about a lot of strategy. The Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Tell me more. With this Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, maybe they want to come in and give you a cup of love, but they've pretty well lost everything. They don't have anything to offer. Tell me more about the Four of Cups and the Nine of Swords. The Temperance. So this is the Sagittarius. This is a Sagittarius wanting to come in with some sort of love offer, but they've lost everything. They don't feel that they have anything to show up with. They don't feel they have anything good to offer you but love. They're all up in their head about it. I'm really picking up that this was a Sagittarius that is feeling remorse and shame for what they got themselves involved in. And I feel that you clocked it. You clocked the dynamic. Yeah. They worked extremely hard to bring about some sort of fog and deception. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Two of Cups. This could have been your soulmate, and they didn't accept the contract. This person very well could have been your soulmate. This could have been your person, and they didn't feel worthy enough to accept the contract. There could have been a Capricorn involved with this too as well. They had to cut out a Capricorn. Page of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Somebody wants to come in and collaborate now, though. Yeah, they cut out some sort of third parties, and they want to come in with some sort of a gift. They're taking action to end all of this pain and this suffering. Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Two of Swords. They were divinely guided. They kept the cards close to their chest about future, the possibility of the future with you. They kept that close to their chest because they did not want to be misjudged and put in jail. But they wanted to bring balance to a situation. They wanted to bring balance or justice to some sort of bitterness or emotional manipulation. They felt worthless for leaving you in the dark. King and Queen of Pentacles. I don't know about you, collective, but this is a divine couple. Very fruitful, very abundant couple. Out of all the kings and queens, or the emperors and empresses, I feel the King and Queen of Pentacles, when they show up together in the upright, this is a divine couple. They have all the elements. This is pre-emperor, pre-empress energy. Had they listened to the divine, and had they went with what they were going with, this would have turned out better than expected. And now they're taking action to end out this cycle once and for all, to bring rest to the situation and to bring a beautiful new beginning. Holy fuck, thank you, Spirit. This is a beautiful reading. They want to definitely bring some sort of reconciliation. They're moving rather slow to do this. They're having a hard time walking away from this this energy of not being worthy. But they know that they need to end something regarding some sort of emotional manipulation. Somebody's codependent on them emotionally. There's the King of Cups. They definitely know what they want. They're overwhelmed at the fact that they're missing out on this beautiful new union. The Lovers, the Four of Wands. There's definitely conflict. Somebody does not want them to be happy, and they're trying to somehow do this with compassion. But it seems like there's some sort of lies and deception. Somebody feels helpless. Two of Pentacles reversed. Somebody's juggling way too much because of this Queen of Swords. They don't have hope, and they feel that it's going to expose them. Had they known what they were getting themselves into and with whom, they wouldn't have. Hindsight is 2020, is what I'm picking up on. But now they know. Now they know. With what they know now, they would have acted differently. They would have done differently. They've been overthinking on how to call their power back and just walk away. The King of Swords in reverse is revealed. They admitted to something that they kept in the dark. About some sort of manipulation or magic, manifestations. Eight of Swords, or not Eight of Swords, Eight of Wands. So they were trying to bring in a whole bunch. You very well could be this one manifesting. You could be a magician. You could have had a lot of things coming in for you, and they wanted you to self-sabotage and cause you a tower. And this is what the King of Swords was behind. This is what the King of Swords was up to. And it seems as though this King of Wands got himself in amongst the mix and got himself involved regarding this. It could be a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries. However, they want to come in and give you a love offer. There's some sort of a love offer. But they don't have hope that this is going to work out. Because and there's been blackmail behind this too. If you don't do this for me, I will go and tell them. If you don't do this for me, I'll go and tell them. I'll go and tell them the truth. And then you'll never be able to be in their life ever again, kind of situation. So they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. The question is, could you forgive the King of Wands? He's showing in the upright. He's not in the reverse. Personally, I could forgive the King of Wands. Because I'm kind of getting like a detective kind of energy. Like a mole. You got to kind of play along to get along. With the strategy of the Seven of Wands, or Seven of Swords. And to be inspired to investigate some sort of betrayal. In order to move forward. That's why there was no reciprocity. That's why they may have come in and then they were out again. They would stop in and or they would maybe throw you a message and then they disappear. There was no reciprocity in the message because they were going through some shit. They were going through the battles, trying to be as independent as possible, showing up independent. They very well could have left them out in the cold. They nurtured their intuition and moved forward on some sort of plan with purpose. This was a huge wake-up call as to why they wanted to come forward with compassion. It was ultimately the reason why they wanted to is because they were saying that you were unhinged. They wanted you to lose control. They very well could have lost control, and now they're healing. They're watching. If this is a Sagittarius, they're definitely watching and they're definitely going through chaos right now, trying to heal from what was done. They feel in remorse. This Seven of Swords keeps coming out. That was the overall idea, I feel. They wanted to come in. The whole plan was to steal from you. But once they found out a lot of the information, they snapped. They lost control. I'm also picking up that they felt that it was not fair for you to go through this. Whoever you are, collective, you're very loving, you're very kind. And somebody tried to destroy that. They infiltrated the people that were coming into your life in order to do that. Now they're overwhelmed and up in their head and not knowing how to show up. They don't know how to present. They don't know how to present the evidence. What's a scoop, Spirit? Or anything else? They're definitely weathering the storm. Definitely bitter, not happy. They're in sadness about the manipulation, about not listening to their intuition. They should have listened to their intuition. We have the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. This Queen of Cups in the reverse, I'm picking up Scorpio. They didn't speak out on the information. They didn't tell them everything. And this is why they're overwhelmed. They're very sad right now. They could be being emotionally manipulated, and they're trying to find their power. They're trying to find a way to be empowered, to tap in, to step into their independence. In order to come forward and give you a love offer. This Queen of Cups, the Scorpio, is emotionally manipulating them. But they know the truth now. Somebody's going to jail, and there's going to be a passionate new beginning. At least that's what they're hoping for. Somebody definitely wants to reconcile. But they still think that you deserve better. And this is why they're disempowered to come forward. They can't walk away from snapping out. But what they can do is bring everything back to you, at least. They can at least show up and help end out the cycle. They're snapping out at what they might be losing out on. There's the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Cups. About getting what they want. and literally having everything that they could ever dream of. Sitting in the King of Cups energy is very sure of themselves emotionally. They know exactly what they want. And the Ten of Pentacles, leaving a legacy, having a legacy, grounded, solid, and they're overwhelming. They're overwhelmed at the fact that somehow, some way, they have to stand their ground. It's kind of giving me the fact that they have to sacrifice everything to show their love. The Four of Swords, to bring things to rest. Ace of Cups. The Five of Pentacles reversed. Tell me more, Spirit. What's this? Yeah, the Nine of Swords. Tell me more. Yeah, they want to move forward. They want to forget the past. They want to leave the past behind them. Collective, they need you to be patient for this to come in. Because they're not in a place right now where they can commit. I'm also picking up that there's definitely something here about a Gemini trying to bring them down. Trying to put their Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. And cause lies and deception. There's the King of Swords. Something to do with either a Capricorn or something to do with the devil. Putting somebody into some sort of a sacrifice. Having somebody be a sacrifice. This could be you. This could be them. Maybe this is their blackmail. If they can't make you the sacrifice, they'll make them the sacrifice. So they wanted them to come in and lie and deceive and basically breadcrumb you to cause you nothing but pain. But with the Five of Wands in reverse, they didn't want to do that. That was done against their will. The only reason why they were collaborating with them is for this Ace of Pentacles. To find out about this Ace of Pentacles and to bring that to an end. They were wanting to stick up for you. Unapologetically. They were nurturing the truth this whole time. Trying to bring balance to the situation, to bring some sort of recognition, to bring some sort of flowers, to bring some sort of victory, some healing. But they were holding back because of this King of Swords, because of the lies. And they had to cut out this third party situation. They didn't want to be looked as a third party. And I'm really picking up on a Sagittarius. They're taking action to bring this to a halt. All of the manipulation, all the black magic, all the fucking evil eye, everything that was thrown at you, collective. They're trying to turn that tower upside down. We got the Hierophant and the Empress. They want to nurture this new divine idea. And I feel that this is definitely a divine idea with you. They misunderstood, but they had a huge awakening. So they are keeping their cards close to their chest. They're not really moving forward too fast because they did not want to be misjudged. They're being very strategic as to how they deal with this. But they're definitely bringing in some sort of reciprocity because of the sadness, and there's justice. There's definitely a clearing out of this betrayal. They will be taking a leap of faith, but again, they don't feel that they have anything to offer right now. It seems like they're losing grip and they're nurturing themselves. They're trying to build up some sort of foundation without throwing heat on them. With the World in the reverse, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Oh. There's a King of Pentacles out here that is threatening to kill them. I'm just going to come out and say it. And I feel that this is what's really this is what's empowered them to come in with this cup of love. Because they want to put to rest this whole idea of some sort of sacrifice and overwhelm. There's a King of Cups out here that brought an end to some sort of justice or retribution or apologies. There's a King of Cups out here that really they decided to be strategic as to how they were going to steal and end something of substantial stature for you, collective. Somebody thought that you were undeserving, that you weren't allowed to walk away from what they were trying to do. There's a lot of people regarding this mixed in this whole mess. And that's why it's taking so slowly. Because there's somebody here that does not want. Somebody does not want you to have a new beginning. Somebody's beating themselves up for not listening to their intuition. Somebody's feeling guilt and remorse for not putting two and two together earlier. They got themselves in a big mess with a whole bunch of blackmail. And now they don't know how to fix it. What I am hearing, Spirit is saying that the worst is over. For you, Collective. The worst is over. This Hierophant, though, this Taurus, a very karmic individual. They were the ones that were trying to bring you out of the ability to have any type of harvest. They were the ones that was basically taking everything that you were building, trying to destroy it. I'm also picking up that with the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, they were trying to emulate you. It's almost kind of giving copycat energy. Robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of situation. They were taking from you to give to other people. The King of Swords. And then leaving you in the dark. It's all going to be revealed. There's an investigator coming in to speak to you about it. There's a King of Swords in reverse and a King of Swords right side up. The King of Swords reversed could very well be your hitman. However, there is another King of Swords I'm picking up on an Aquarius. It could very well be a Libra. Masculine that's going to come in and tell you the truth of what was held back from you, what kept you overthinking, what kept you from taking a leap forward in a new direction. And have you pretty well begging. about this love offer, this genuine love offer. So somebody tried to sabotage it. Third party sabotage. Somebody's very, very selfish regarding this. There's a Queen of Pentacles, Gemini, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I'm picking up on a Capricorn, as well as a Taurus. They were working together. However, somebody did not have all the information in order to bring an end to this betrayal, to bring healing to this betrayal. So somebody did not want this getting out. Somebody did not want this being televised or being noticed. Somebody did not want this being seen. Somebody did not want this whole cycle closing out. You collective, you're not supposed to be here. You're ultimately not supposed to be here. This cycle was not allowed to close out until you were gone. Pushing daisies. There's going to be an apology coming in, and it's a fake apology. They were hoping you would be left out in the cold. They were hoping that you would be dead in a ditch somewhere, worthless. They wanted to do this to a starseed. But your angels, though, very well could have been this Sagittarius that sabotaged this whole plan. Page of Swords reversed, Seven of Swords reversed. Totally misunderstood. This was supposed to be a one-sided endeavor. But they're taking action because they feel defenseless at this point. They're locked up in their head. They're having a dark night of the soul. They pretty well lost everything. They could have lost a job. This could have been you. Lost your job, lost your house, lost money, lost everything, having you all up in the, having you constantly in this one-sided. But they're taking action to move forward. Somebody wants this new beginning, and it's coming in fast. Somebody had a huge wake-up call. They know they have to work very grounded in the situation in order to bring through this endeavor. They're finding the strength within them to do so. There's definitely some sort of manifestation coming through. And somebody's bitter as all hell because you keep winning, because you keep rising. And the fact that you're not snapping out, the fact that you're not going to jail, collective, and you're still giving back, and you're emotionally fulfilled, and you're tapped into the divine, and you're still revealing that what was in the dark, and you're still finding happiness, and you're focused on yourself, very determined. The devil's been working extremely hard to bring you a tower. You're out here supposed to be some sort of sacrifice, and you're rebuking and banishing the devil back to fucking hell where he belongs. His reign on earth is over. Because you're tapped the fuck in, and they didn't realize that you're an outright high priestess out here. They thought that you weren't going to get the upper hand, but that totally came to an end. You brought that to an abrupt stop because you alchemized all the sadness. You turned your pain to power. And they totally misjudged your ability to know that you deserve better than what they were breadcrumbing you with. And you definitely know what you want. You're reconciled the war within your head. Despite the fact that the Wheel of Fortune was not in your favor, you're still headed for the Ten of Cups. Despite the imbalance that they threw at you, despite of them trying to ruin everything that you were building for yourself, you're still celebrating, and the divine is still giving you what you need to do to get by. Yeah. They tried to kill out your inner light, and you're still sitting here in this emperor position, alchemizing your masculine and feminine energy, protecting yourself, showing up for yourself, nurturing yourself, loving yourself. Despite how they tried to break your heart, you're still taking this leadership position. Despite the fact that you're weathering the storm that this stupid ass bitch, Queen of Swords, tried to throw at you with all these lies and deception, that's being put to rest too. The King of Swords, the Four of Wands, this authority figure, this investigator is they're definitely committed about ending this. The Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. The truth is coming out, collective. The Four of Wands. They're definitely committed to a new foundation and bringing all this shit to an end. All of the devaluing, all of the emotional manipulation, and the energetic manipulation, trying to keep you uninspired. Justice is here, collective. Just be patient, continue to be consistent, continue moving forward. Somebody's going to jail. Or somebody's caught up in jail. They're dealing with conflict right now, trying to walk away, trying to bring truth to the matter, trying to nurture their heart space, tapping into their masculine and feminine energy, wanting to move forward, but they're holding back. Page of Pentacles and the Fool with the Moon. They're definitely in their emotions about how to come forward, and to take a leap of faith, to bring some sort of support in. Like, this person is outright devastated. I'm also picking up, they never thought that people could be this evil. They never thought that people could be this much of a monster. At first, they thought you were delusional. They didn't believe you. And then they got themselves mixed up in the fucking mess. And now they're having a very hard time cleaning their sticky fingers. So be patient. You're going to hear news. Something tells me 3 weeks, 3 months, maybe 3 days. Definitely something in 3. Hopefully not 3 years. But I can just tell by the energy tonight, collective, that your whole world's about to change. And anybody that decided to come against you and to cause you problems, they're in for a rude awakening. They're in for a rude awakening. Tell me about this King of Swords in reverse. Tell me about this King of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they're going to come in begging. They don't want to get trapped up in the mess. But they were taking a risk. And, yeah. They're going to come in and say that they were not the ones putting you on this roller coaster ride. Yeah, they're just basically coming in to gaslight you, collective. Okay? They're wishing, praying, and hoping that they can pretend, put up a front, be two-faced, and they're not going to be genuine. Don't bother getting in touch with them. If they come back in your energy, don't listen to a word they say. The thing with the narcissist, if you make them irrelevant, they lose their control. They didn't like that. When you made their information or their conversation or their intellect or whatever, if you make them feel small, of course they feel shame. They don't like feeling shame. They don't like feeling worthless. But when you make them irrelevant, it makes them go bonkers. Because then their gaslighting and all their shit doesn't work. What about this King of Swords in the upright? This Libra Aquarius. Yeah. Yeah, so they've infiltrated the third parties. They broke up the third parties. This whole idea of them moving on, they're not moving on. They're not ending these cycles. They're going to be learning some major lessons. Everything is coming full circle. And everything that they've done to you is done. Done, done, done. Stick a fucking fork in it. Okay? They don't have anything to come in and say to you yet. Whatever this proposal was, this so-called proposal, that's null and void. Okay? And I'm also picking up with the proposal in the reverse. There was some sort of marriage behind the scenes created to create some sort of jealousy that's been null and void. Okay? Their mask has been ripped off. Okay? Secrets, love affair, keeping things inside, not opening up, casting illusions. Yeah. This whole idea of them sending you flashbacks, trying to trauma bond with you, inner child wounds, attracting toxic, sending toxic people in to thwart you, to ruin you, that's all done. They can't do that anymore. It's been put to rest. All the missing pieces are coming together. This whole idea of them wanting you to get locked up, not happening. This investigator knows that you're innocent. And they know that your family is not shit. What about the Sag? Yeah, this Sagittarius does not want to take any risks. They're very honest, very genuine. They're not willing to roll the dice. They're not willing to play like a poker face. They're not willing to gamble. But they ultimately witnessed the jealousy. They were part of the rumors. They were part of the pettiness. They had first account of seeing this envy. They were there when they were talking behind your back. They seen everything. And this is why the revenge and the denial the refusal, the dismissal, the not facing reality, that's why that's being put to rest, because they've seen everything. They knew this was a karmic soulmate. They were there when all of this shit of trying to pursue you was going on. And they knew for a fact of all the validation, but they knew that they didn't want all of this coming out. They didn't want to show proof or validation or confirmation or finding the truth. And this, I feel, was part of the blackmail. This is where they got tied in. They had a hard time keeping their wits about them. I'm also picking up that they were very genuine. They didn't get mixed up in the sexcapades that was going on. They wanted nothing to do with it. Feeling in the moment, becoming aware today in the now. What's going on in the now? They're contemplating the wrong reasons, contemplating stay or leave, and uncertain. They definitely don't want to meet up, planning, discussion, dating other. They're not dating other people. They're not meeting up with anybody. They're not planning anything. They're not discussing anything. I think they're keeping to themselves. They're weighing their decisions to stay or leave. They're weighing their decisions and they're contemplating why did they get themselves into this mess in the first place. I'm hearing it was to bring you justice. Yeah. Revealing the truth, confessions, shedding light. But they're having to do this in a very strategic way. Yeah, because they've seen the hate firsthand. And they hate the fact that they were part of the rumors. They hated the fact that they were part of the pettiness and the talking behind your back. They were not out here wanting to take this risk. But again, hindsight is 2020. And they're going to be coming in and they're definitely wanting to negotiate. They definitely want to work things out with you. Begging and negotiating. This side, I feel this Saj fucking loves you. And that's not every Saj. That's not for everyone. This particular Saj, deep down, they love you. And this is why they did it. They're literally sacrificing everything to find out the truth. Yeah. And they hate the fact that they didn't listen to their intuition. People were playing out that there was some sort of obsession going on, but it wasn't the case. Somebody came at them with some sort of lustful energy, but they dismissed them. Because they wanted a reunion with you. They wanted a union with you. But they had to play out like they hated you. They couldn't illuminate the truth. It's a very difficult decision. They had to play a part in order to not validate this love that they had for you. They couldn't find out the truth, otherwise the whole jig would be up. So they had to kind of play along. And they're hoping that you're not going to be pissed that they had to play along. I don't know about you, Collective, but I wouldn't be pissed off. I'd understand that dynamic. Specifically if they were going in to, like, be a mole. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm not going to be hurt by that. I don't know about you. But if they're going in to find out the truth, to bring justice to the situation, have at her. I'm not going to even consider it a betrayal. You know, sometimes you got to play the fool that's trying to fool you, right? Sometimes you got to play a particular part. Anyway. Spirit brought about a different message, that's for sure. This is different. It was still chaotic, but it was different. Not gonna. Wow. It almost seems too quiet. I hope the little one's okay. Okay. Considering I have 32 people watching, that's a beautiful number. I don't want to just end it out now. But if by chance you guys would like an open table, type out heart or put a heart actually in the chat. And I will restart and I will do an open table. Okay? Only put a heart if you're going to participate with a donation. and I will restart the live for a open table for Friday night. But I'm only going for a little while because I'm tired, but I'll go for a little while. Thank you, Roxanne. We got Taurus, we got Blamified, we got Marie, we got Roxanne, we got Aaron in the house. Welcome in, buddy. Thank you so much. But I'm gonna do. I'm debating on either doing a top 3 or a top 5. So whoever's in the top 5, I think within the first 30 minutes of the message. Or let me just see here. What's the top fans here? We got Taurus, we got Aaron, we got Ashley, we got Roxanne, Celestial Guardian. I'll go top 10. Okay, so Taurus, Aaron, Ashley, Roxy, Celestial Guardian, Renee, Coco, Julie, Brooke, and Johnny. There's definitely a possibility for you guys to get anybody that I mentioned. If you're still here, if you're still kicking it, there's definitely a possibility that you can get a message. Thank you, Taurus. Thank you, everyone. It's a beautiful thing. You know what? The energy's definitely changed. Let's go. Ashley, are you still here? We'll start with you. Ashley May. Roxanne, Aaron, Taurus. Hopefully Ashley's still here. When you raise your vibration, Paola. Ashley May, are you still here? Screw it. I'm just going to do maybe a half hour on here. I'm not even going to change the background. I'm not even going to change the live. I'm just going to roll with it. Going against everything, but whatever. I don't want to end the live. I've already got a bunch of cool people in here, so. I like to keep it separated, but I won't. Not tonight. Yeah, as soon as you start choosing yourself. Blamified. Thank you. All right, last call for Ashley May. If you're here, speak up. Then we're moving on. Alright, thank you so much, Celestial. Greatly appreciated. You got the 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles coming in, Celestial. You're good. They popped out of the deck when I said your name. Good shit's about to happen for you. Even so, you don't want a reading. The best cards in the deck. And you ended up getting them both at the same time. You can't go wrong with that. Okay, Ashley, May. All right, Roxy. Let's see what you got going on. Are you here? Are you still here there, Roxy? Let's get some good news for you, shall we? A little bit. Just a little bit. Roxanne, put on your red dress. Roxanne, put on the red light. Are you here? Or did you decide to pop out and tap out? Going once. Going twice. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. Aaron, you are here. I miss you, man. It's been quite a while. What's going on with you, dude? Hopefully everything is looking good with you. Instead of arguing, you said, bye-bye, I'm done. Left your Facebook up, logged out, and I'm Gucci. Cool. What's going on for Aaron? How's that move gonna work? What's the scoop for Aaron? Knight of Cups? Tell me more. Page of Wands? The High Priestess? Ooh, the King of Wands. So there's something here about emotional manipulation, but you're calling your fucking power back. You're standing in your power. And you're inspired to move forward and take action. That's beautiful energy. Right? Things are going to take off for you. I'm hearing better than expected. But you're kind of reluctant to take that action, but everything is coming back to you and then some. And I think once you cut people off, they're going to come back and apologize, and they're going to give back everything they took. But you're getting sevenfold blessings anyway, Aaron. So stand in your power. Don't allow this misconfidence or manipulation to jumble you up in any way. Okay? Six of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. Be patient. You got collaborators coming in and you're going to have success. You're getting your victory. You're getting your flowers. So that's some good news for you. All righty. Thank you, Kimberly. Taurus girl, did you want a reading? I'll hook you up, kitty. Okay. All the hands up in the air with the thumbs out really didn't tell me much, so I'm glad you said yes. We got the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, so there's going to be reciprocity as soon as you cut out the third party. I think you already said you did that, so let's look into it. What's going on for Taurus girl? What's going on for Taurus girl? That was a little sticky. Oh, the Ten of Pentacles? That's all right. The Page of Swords. Okay. Tell me more. What else for Taurus girl? Just pay attention. Be very observant. Okay? Embrace the observer kind of situation at this time. Okay? Because that in itself will give you the answers that you seek, and that will help you direct where and what you need to take action on. Yeah, it's definitely going to expose a lot. Ooh, okay. We got the Four of Wands. However, it is on its side. The Knight of Pentacles. Shit's gonna pop off for you. And maybe it's something about putting this commitment to rest first. With the Four of Wands, it could very well be something to do with a commitment, a celebration, a new foundation. If there's something here about letting shit go, you will gain more information as an observer than getting involved in it. If that makes any sense. It will ultimately allow you to know without giving yourself away about what to take action on. right? And then all you have to do, you don't even have to say anything, just act accordingly, right? Andrea, welcome in. Yeah, you're going to be celebrating soon. So just let things fall where it may. This is going to be a huge wake up call. You're going to see things from a broader perspective being in this observer mode. You're going to see the lies for what they are. You're going to know who to collaborate with. You're going to know who to have reciprocity with. Okay. Seven of Pentacles reversed. You're going to know what to build in and what to pour into and what not to. Okay. Give me a second here. I am back. What? What was wild? Yeah, a friend of mine sent me a funny. Okay. Taurus girl, are you in my DMs yet? I think you are. If you would like to grab another message or a deeper message, let me know. Okay. But shit's gonna pop off for you, so just stay in this observer mode. It will allow you to know what and where and how. Okay. Blamified. Something said, or no, that was Celestial. What's going on with you, Blamified? Is there a chance that you would like a message? Or was that you showing some love? Love one. Okay. What's going on for Blamified? Pray tell. It's upright at least. It's a good sign. Ooh, the Page of Pentacles. So somebody's going to come in with some sort of support for you, with you. Somebody's coming in to bring in some money. You might be getting some money. We got, oh, holy shit. We got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Lovers. And we got the Nine of Wands. Okay? Whatever you've been going through, Glamified, this is literally bringing you to a new level. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? All this time you've been focusing on being a woman and trying to empower yourself as a woman, right? And for the longest time, I feel you didn't ever recognize or realize that you have masculine energy. Okay? I feel like you've been focusing on feminine, femin. Come on, spirit, help me out here. Femininity. And you haven't been really incorporating the masculine energy because you know, I'm a fucking woman, Aiden. What do you expect? Kind of deal, right? However, with this Lovers card, I feel that you've started since you've been watching me. Probably, you've kind of integrated this masculine, feminine energy. You've been protecting yourself. You've been showing up for yourself. You've been, providing for yourself. You've also been nurturing, loving, and being compassionate to yourself. You've been being a little bit more nurturing, which is bringing you into this totally different dynamic. Okay. And by that, you are also nurturing your magic. You're nurturing the beauty of this balance. You're nurturing the ability to take action, to be inspired, to be passionate, but in this balanced lover's energy. Okay. And with all the shit that you've been dealing with everything that you've been going through, the trials, tribulations, and all the bullshit, the chaos, I do feel that you're getting the upper hand now. You're gaining your ground. You're gaining more stability within your emotions. Before, I feel that you may have been lacking in confidence, lacking in the ability to overcome, lacking in the ability to really stand in your power and to really be the full essence of who you are. And I feel that with this Nine of Wands, you've been able to close out so many different things, so many different dynamics that were kind of distracting you, keeping you from stepping forward, keeping you from your momentum forward, right? We're talking about Eight of Wands to the Nine of Wands, right? There was so much happening to you or happening for you or happening in your reality that it maybe have been a little bit overwhelming. However, you being able to be in this passionate, magic kind of badassery kind of energy, being able to nurture the masculine and feminine energy and overcoming all of these slights and distractions and trials and tribulations. I'm really kind of picking up on the fact that you've really stepped into a different version of yourself that is really more empowering, inspiring. You have a testimony, you have a story. You could write a bunch of books and they would be totally awesome. Okay. And I feel with this Page of Pentacles, um, you know how to make a house a home. You know how to really kind of take your experience and bring it about in a way that is going to empower, you know, despite what you've been through, despite everything that you've overcome, you still have something to offer, which I feel at first you only had a minuscule little pentacle to offer. But now I feel because you've stepped into this badassery version of yourself, I'm thinking that that's totally a different ballgame now. We've already passed the Six of Wands, right? You've already lived, you've already got the experience. You've got one wand left, and there's a major cycle about to close out for you. This is a cycle that you've needed to close out. And I feel with this Page of Pentacles coming in to help you, it's going to give you that momentum that you need to move forward. Yeah, because we got the Eight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. There was something here about you having a hard time walking away from a particular dynamic. And now that you see the horizon in front of you, it's becoming more evident that you do have what it takes to get it. You do have what it takes to overcome. You do have what it takes to get to that last wand and close out this cycle. Okay, so I definitely feel something good coming in for you. You will be eventually closing this out. And Spirit's saying you don't have to rush this. Okay, do it when you're ready. Okay. Fucking love it. I love it. There's nothing more sexy watching a woman do tile. I can't. Sorry. You know, there's nothing more sexy than a woman doing a man's job. Okay? And I'm not trying to be sexist when I say that, but usually, like, trades and all that shit, it's been thrown at all the men, right? You don't usually see women doing those jobs. Usually women are cleaning, cooking, taking care of, nurturing, all that kind of thing. But when I see a woman tap into their masculine energy, that's sexy as fuck. That's basically what I'm trying to change, trying to say here. You got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. The sky's the limit for you. I hope you realize that. Okay? Yeah, you can do anything you put your mind to, whether you're a man or a woman. That goes for anybody. Everybody has the ability to, you know, do what they need to do. Everybody has the ability to do what they're inspired to do. Whether that's tiling a house, building a house for that matter. The fact is that you can put more emotion, more passion, more empathy into your work. Okay? So, I hope that helped Blamify. I'm very proud of you too, by the way. I'm extremely proud of you. I'm glad you got that tile down. Just know you can reach out to me at any point if you need some pointers. Okay? All right, Kitty, are you here? Andrea, there's a list, so I put you on the list. Please be patient. Oh, Blamified knows how fantastic I am, Marie. That's why she's a member. That's why she's got a star beside her name. I have a feeling there, Blamified, that um, I'm kind of getting the asexual vibe off of you. It's either that or you could be jumping the fence. And there's no shade. There's no shade towards that. It's one or the other though. Like it's like, you know what, now that you've opened that can of worms, now that you've opened that Pandora's box, you're gonna be a force all on your own. I just totally get that. But yeah, you're definitely stepping into your power, my dear, and I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. I hope things go very well for you. Yeah, okay. And that's the whole thing, right? You're being able to tap into both sides, right? You're able to complete yourself without the need of a man or a woman, for that matter. Right? You're open to the dynamic of a connection, of a friendship, of something that's going to last the test of time. But you're not just out there trying to, you know, because you're feeling empty and you need somebody to be around or whatever. It's like it's not a loneliness. I feel that you're kind of embracing your solitude, and you're kind of stepping into that energy of being able to finally move forward and not really need anyone. It's more or less of changing it up and changing the perspective of who do I want in my reality instead, right? And this is where you get to be a little bit more choosy and maybe picky as to who you allow in your energy, right? Which I think is extremely valid with what you've had to overcome. So, again, I very much hope that everything works out for you, my dear. I'm only a message away if you need me, okay? Whether through Instagram or Facebook. Um, I'm so happy to have you on my member side. Um, while we have everybody kicking it here, we got some members here. I'm going to look at the calendar, see what the deal is. Where's the calendar? Calendar. Okay. So the 16th, okay, May 16th, that, hang on. Yeah, 16th. 16th or the 23rd? Maybe I will throw a poll on the member side and you guys can fight over it. Either the 16th or the 23rd is going to be the mid-month check-in. Okay? And members, you don't have to pay for it there. Okay? Andrea, again, this message wasn't for you. I don't know where you have to understand Blamified's comment. Probably because you don't understand it. It wasn't your comment. It wasn't your message. I don't know. Welcome in, Colleen. Kitty, thank you for your patience. All right, Kitty. Pray tell, Spirit, give Kitty a good message. Please. We're on a roll tonight. Oh, we got the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. What's going on with Kitty? I'll take it. This one too? Okay. All right, we got the High Priestess. We've got the Hermit. We've got the Four of Wands. And we've got the Ace of motherfucking Pentacles. Kitty, you already know what your inner light looks like. Okay? Sweet dreams there, Celestial. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You have sweet dreams, okay? Thank you so much for hanging out. It's always good to see you in the crowd and in the chat. Kitty, you know what your inner light looks like. Okay? With the Hermit here on its side, somebody's trying to get you to question your inner light, question your direction, question what you should be committed to. Okay? And whatever that you are committed to, if it's not committed to them, it's a no-go. If it's committed to yourself, it's a no-go. Okay? You're the one that's bringing in this Ace of Pentacles. Nobody else. This is why you need to call your fucking power back and remember who the fuck you are. Enough is enough. Specifically, you know exactly who I'm talking about. They do not get to question. Okay? They do not get to question your motives, your actions, what you spend your money on, how you should spend your money, what you should do with your time. You are the mother. You are the mom. You are the mother trying to be a mom, not the best friend. The moment you try to become the best friend, that's where they betray you. Okay? Stop trying to be the best friend. Quite frankly, they do not need a best friend. They need a mother. They need a mom. Okay? I know myself, I dealt without a father. But to have a mother that was emotionally unavailable, to have a mother that really didn't show up for me, to show me an example to live by, that hurt more. It hurt enough to not have a father consistently in my life. The fact that she felt that it was necessary to keep me away from my father, on top of the fact that she had some sort of fucking delinquent morons try to be the father. So far so that it was my grandfather and my uncle, right? That had to tie in, right? It's bullshit. And they couldn't even show up. We got the Fool here. We got the Three of Swords. We got the Ten of Pentacles. There's quite possibly, if you continue to overthink, there's a quite possibility that you'll betray this whole idea of having this Ten of Pentacles. You'll betray your stability. You'll betray your foundation. You'll betray everything that you've been trying to build for yourself. Okay? No, he failed himself. He's trying to make you feel guilty. And by making you feel guilty, that's where he's catching you. Because he's catching you through emotions. He's catching you through this whole idea that if he can make you feel bad for not showing up for him when he doesn't even want you showing up for yourself. Growing up, if my mother would actually show up for herself, that in itself would set an example for me to show up for me. But she didn't even show up for herself. She was always showing up for everybody else. She wasn't showing up for me. She wasn't showing up for my sister. She was showing up for everybody else. And that's the thing that pissed me off the most. And it's taken me so long to get out of this whole bit where I'm showing up for everybody else and I'm showing up for myself instead. It's taken me a long time to recognize that and try and balance that out for myself. Okay? So you start showing up for yourself. You start creating boundaries for yourself. Okay? Stop overthinking it. He's old enough to wipe his own ass. He's old enough to cook his own fucking food. He's old enough to dress his food. He's old enough to do his own fucking laundry. He needs to grow the fuck up. You're out here alchemizing all the pain. You're out here alchemizing all the pain, the suffering, the sadness, everything that he's throwing at you. Remember who the fuck you are, High Priestess. Take control of the situation and lead by example. Because you got the Emperor out here too. The Ace of Cups. You don't need these dumbass third parties. You can cut them out. Okay? Fill your own damn cup. Tap into the divine. Tap into the ability to know that the divine will fill that cup and heal that heart. So that way you can step into your own divinity. That way you're not out here betraying yourself to save his feelings. You shouldn't have to pretzel yourself into a totally different version of yourself in order to please him. Specifically, when he's acting the way that he's acting. And I hope the fuck he's listening to this. And he best be glad that I'm, what, 3 provinces away? Because I would have came over there and kicked his fucking ass already. Gladly. After all the shit that he's doing, yeah, gladly. And I would have put it on my YouTube channel. Just for entertainment purposes. I'm not playing tonight. I don't ever play, Andrea. Get it through your head. Remember who the fuck you are, kitty. Remember what you've had to endure. Remember what you've had to overcome to get to where you are. And stop being his best friend. And start being his mother. I don't even think that he could handle you being his mom. Okay? I don't think he could even handle you being his mom. The truth and clarity is coming in. You will know what to do at the right time. Pace yourself. It's a journey, not a destination. And don't compare yourself to other people and their journey. Your journey is your own. Okay? Take that into consideration. All right, Andrea. The hell is your question again? I'm going through some changes with a new partner. Just can't tell the difference if he's the right one or if he's manipulative. And here I am repeating myself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm glad you only gave me $4.99. And if I had tits and a cooch, and if we were close, I'd slap you upside one side and down the other. Why? Because you keep coming at me with the same stupid fucking question, and you don't listen to the information that I gave you in the first place. And you end up coming back and asking me the same shit. Why? Why do you keep asking the same fucking questions to me? When you haven't even listened to what I've spoken about for the last 3 fucking years, or repeated myself to the collective, almost on a constant basis. I don't think there's been one reading where I haven't said that you need to focus on yourself first. You need to heal yourself first. You need to be in a solitude of getting and embracing the ability to be with yourself first. Otherwise, you're going to be in this people pleasing bullshit cycle. Because you're not making the right decisions, Andrea. And the whole thing is this whole idea that you say that you can't get out of it, it's because you're not making the right decisions. It's the emptiness that is haunting you, that you need to fill your own void first. And the only one that can do that is you. No one can help you with that. You can't go buy it on a shelf at a store. This is the self-worth that you need to recognize within yourself. This is the self-care that you need to nurture yourself with. in order to rise above this shit. So you don't need a fucking man. Okay? Blamified knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because she's gone through this shit already. But she actually listened to what I had to say, and now she's running with it. Now she's empowered. Now she's laying down fucking tile like a badass. And it's only her first time. I want the same for you. I want you to be able to know the self-worth within you. I want you to know that you have what it takes to rise above this shit. But this whole self-care, self-love, self-worth is lacking because you're thinking that you need somebody else to fill some sort of void, and you don't. It is easy. It's about looking in the mirror and loving the skin you're in, regardless what everybody else's opinion is. It's about showing the fuck up for yourself. It's about showing yourself love and knowing that you deserve better than a fucking manipulator. And you should know by now whether or not this is the right one or if he's manipulating you. Haven't you dealt with enough manipulators? Haven't you seen enough red flags in your fucking life to know what you should and should not be entertaining? Are you gaslighting yourself again? Those are my questions for you. Of course it's true. Of course. I sure as hell wasn't born yesterday. And you sure as hell know that I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for you. Yada yada. Andrea, my biggest advice for you right now, get your fucking head out of your ass, open your eyes, and pay attention to your surroundings. Okay? We be out here in a spiritual war right now. Alright? And this is why you need to pay attention. Your life depends on it. The last thing that you need is a bunch of manipulating fucks dealing with you. Or you having to deal with a bunch of manipulating fucks. Empower yourself. And listen to Blamify. If you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. But listen to Blamify. And I think the fact that a man is telling you this is a big issue to you. Because you've been betrayed by men your whole life. And that's why you have a hard time taking in the truth from me. Because you think I'm just going to betray you like everybody else. If I had a mic, I'd drop it. Other than my grandmother and maybe No. I would say maybe 5 or less. Now, this is minus tribe, okay? So far, so good. But I've been betrayed by almost every woman I've ever gotten close to. Okay? So trying to take advice from a woman is very difficult for me. They have to fit a particular narrative in order for me to be able to trust them. And usually that requires a very good friendship first. They need to prove themselves that I can trust them and that there's loyalty and honesty and humility and integrity there before I'll even consider what they have to say. But that's just me. Like, I've been betrayed by my cousins, I've been betrayed by my mother, I've been betrayed by my aunts, I've been betrayed by my sisters. And those are the women that you're supposed to be able to trust in your life, right? And the thing is, I've even been betrayed by tribe members who I thought I could trust. And they still betrayed me. Isn't that wild? And this is why I have a hard time opening up to anyone. It's taken me so long to be able to love and to be able to open up my heart again. But by some miracle, here I am. But yeah, literally, the only woman in my whole entire life, the only one that, yeah, my grams. She's the only one that didn't betray me. It's pretty rough, but it's true. She shows herself almost every day now, in some wild way. Like, I smell her perfume almost on a daily basis. And it's just out of nowhere. I smell her cigarette and tea mix. whenever she's near. And then I'll hear certain people mention certain things that she would say. It's pretty wild. Specifically when I'm like not feeling good or when I'm down and out, when I'm just like not, I just don't want to wake, even that I don't want to wake up. Like certain things, it's just. Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody tried to return to sender the return to sender that I sent back all their shit with. Would that make sense? They're doing all this shit to me, sending all this bullshit to me, and I do a return to sender, a rebuke, and a block. I send it all back, and then they tried to resend it back to me. Yeah, it woke me up at 3 a.m. last night. Like, the fuck's going on here? I rebuked it and I sent it fucking back and I bound it to the bastards. Let it fucking haunt you. Enough of this shit. This ain't ping pong. Okay? Anyway, that's it. That's all. Once I'm done here, actually, I could do it now. Calendar. The 16th or the 23rd. If you are a member, do me a favor. Ugh. So May 16th or May 23rd, I'm posting a post here on the members side. All channel members are invited uh, to do this and to answer it. Okay. Figure out when you want your mid-month check-in. All right. because it's either the 16th or the 23rd. Okay? It'd be greatly appreciated if you go and answer that. And on that note, collective, say what again, there, Kitty? You need to stand your ground, Kitty. On that note, be good to yourself. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for the love and the prosperity. I very much appreciate absolutely every single one of my supporters, my members, my subscribers. You mean the world to me. May you all be protected. May you all have blessings beyond your wildest dreams come into your life. May you be healed from any sickness. May you have the courage to overcome anything that you are challenged with. May you have the clarity that you need to overcome any type of deception. May you have prosperity and abundance from unexpected places. And may your haters get to watch. And may they be bound from doing anything to sabotage it. As anything that they do to come against you in any sort of ill, negative way, let them be stopped in their track. Let them fall flat on their face. Let them receive their just deserts. And let them be put into their place. Let them be kicked out of your lane, so that way you can drive in peace. May justice and balance come to you and the ones that you love, the ones that you hold close to your heart. And may the ones that bring you trials and tribulations be left on the side of the road. And may you keep driving. And on that note, I may see you this weekend, I may not. I'm going to take it moment to moment. And, yeah. I may show up this weekend, I may not. Last weekend I didn't, so I may show up this weekend. All depends on how good of a sleep I get tonight. But until then, collective, please be good to yourself if you can't be good at it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Alright? That way you can be good to others. Love you lots. I'll catch you later.